Every single day, the world burns through more than 100 million barrels of oil. But almost no one sees where that oil really comes from. It begins here, on a floating industrial machine in the middle of the ocean, a structure capable of producing 175,000 barrels of oil in a single day. But to reach those reserves, engineers must drill nearly 6 miles into the earth, through ocean water, through the seabed, through layers of rock formed over millions of years. And if this system fails, the result is not just delay. It becomes fire, explosion, environmental disaster. So how do you extract oil from beneath the ocean floor? This is how offshore oil platforms really work. About 80 miles off the coast of Louisiana, giant platforms rise above the Gulf of Mexico like floating steel cities. Below them, the ocean can be over 7,000 feet deep. Above them, winds, waves, storms, and saltwater are constantly attacking the structure. And yet the platform cannot drift, it cannot tilt, because directly beneath it, hidden under rock and pressure, is the reservoir it came for. Before drilling begins, engineers need to know where the oil might be trapped, but they can't see through the ocean floor. So they create an underground map using seismic imaging. Powerful sound waves are sent into the seabed. Those waves bounce back from different rock layers, and the returning data is processed into a 3-dimensional model of the subsurface. Geologists study these models looking for subtle formations that suggest oil may be trapped below. There is no giant X marking the spot, only clues, and those clues can be worth billions of dollars. Once the location is selected, the platform must be fixed in position. This is not as simple as dropping anchor. The structure is secured to the seabed using massive mooring lines and huge suction anchors. And no human can work at that depth. So instead, engineers deploy remotely operated vehicles. These machines act as the eyes and hands of the crew. Equipped with cameras, lights, thrusters, and robotic arms, they descend into darkness and freezing water to inspect the seabed, guide equipment, and verify installation. On the platform, operators control them from a room full of screens. Once everything is in place, the drilling operation begins. And this is where the platform changes from floating structure into industrial machine. The drill string is assembled section by section. Each steel pipe can be over 70 feet long. Hundreds of these sections must be connected together just to reach the seabed. And then the real drilling starts. At first, progress is relatively fast. The upper layers are softer, but deeper down, the rock becomes harder, denser, and less predictable. Drill bits must cut through formations that can destroy ordinary steel, so offshore rigs use specialized bits, sometimes with diamond-enhanced cutting surfaces. Each bit can cost tens of thousands of dollars, but the bit alone doesn't keep the system alive. That job belongs to the drilling fluid, also called drilling mud. Despite the name, this is not simple mud. It is a precisely engineered mixture of chemicals, minerals, and fluid additives designed to solve multiple problems at once. It lubricates the drill bit. It cools the cutting surface. It carries crushed rock back up to the platform. And most importantly, it controls pressure inside the well. That last function is everything. Because as the drill cuts deeper, underground pressure increases. If that pressure is not balanced correctly, oil and gas can surge upward through the well in an uncontrolled blowout. As drilling continues, rock cuttings return to the surface mixed with drilling fluid. This tells engineers what the drill is moving through and whether they are getting close to the reservoir. Then comes a critical moment. They stop drilling. Not because something is wrong, but because something could go catastrophically wrong if they continue without protection. Before the well can safely reach hydrocarbons, it must be secured. That means installing one of the most important safety systems in offshore drilling, the blowout preventer. The BOP is a giant stack of valves and hydraulic components placed on top of the well. and its job is simple in theory. If pressure surges, it shuts the well. Fast. This machine is the last line of defense between a controlled operation and a disaster. Nothing about offshore drilling works without it. Once the blowout preventer is installed and tested, drilling resumes. Eventually, the drill reaches the oil-bearing formation, but the oil still cannot flow. First, the well has to be stabilized. Then cement is pumped into the space between the casing and the rock, creating a sealed barrier. Now the reservoir is isolated but also trapped. So engineers use another tool, the perforating gun. This device is lowered into the well and positioned at the target zone. Then it fires shaped explosive charges, creating channels that allow oil to flow into the well. Only now can production begin. What comes up is not clean crude. It is a violent mixture of oil, gas, water, sand, and pressure. The platform must separate and process everything before the oil can be transported. Large separators split gas from liquid. Water and sediment are removed. Gas is routed into handling systems. Crude oil is stabilized for export. Once processed, the crude oil is sent out through subsea pipelines stretching across the Gulf floor toward refineries on land. That is where the next transformation begins, into gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, plastics, chemicals, the products that keep modern life moving. And that is what makes offshore oil platforms so important. If you want to understand how other critical systems survive under this same level of pressure, you'll find more videos on this channel. Like this video if it helped you see what normally remains invisible. And subscribe to keep discovering how the systems that run the world truly work.